Now Darren Farwell of the Farwell Group joins us so we can learn more about investing our money and protecting our future for retirement. Good morning, Darren.
Good morning, Marilyn.
What do you have for us today?
Well, this morning I'm going to talk about the importance of portions, not so much in dietary or eating, but more in your finances. The importance of portions in ensuring you don't risk the income you get from your investments either today or down the road. The critical concept of portions is diversification. Have a portion of your savings invested in different things. Wendy's simple story tells the tale well. When Wendy's husband died suddenly, I guess coming on 3 years ago, Wendy was left to manage their portfolio herself, something she hadn't been much interested in doing while her husband was still alive. So her lack of confidence, not capability, Wendy's a very capable person, it was more about her interests, combined with her feeling that her husband's advisor seemed to talk down to her, made her very nervous about her investments. And when later she had a meeting with that advisor and she'd expressed the fact that she was nervous, he recommended that given the fact that she had just become a widow, given that she was feeling nervous, that she should basically sell everything and just own GICs and cash. Marilyn, given the process that we have with the Farwell Group designed specifically for widows, we've heard this kind of advice for widows before. And true, there is a simplicity that's nice. However, in our experience, it's a risky all or none decision. What makes much more sense in our experience is to ensure a portion of your savings are very safe. That portion should certainly be 3 to 5 years worth of your income need in no-risk type investments, but not all. And here's why. For most people, their capital needs to keep up with inflation and taxes over time, or you'll fall behind and potentially run out of savings, not today, but 15 or 20 years from now. Often when people go all cash, all risk-free investments, we've seen 3 things happen. Number one, they erode their capital base much faster because their capital isn't growing and they're withdrawing from it. Number 2, they lose any long-term compounding. And by now, all of our listeners have heard the power of long-term compounding returns. And by the way, it's a true story. And number 3, very importantly, for many people, once you're out of that kind of investment, once you're out of things that have growth, it's really hard and stressful to get back in. So your savings end up earning little or even negative returns after tax and inflation, and that further eats away at your capital over time. So your savings could potentially run out before you do. Now, when we did Wendy's long-term income plan, that's part of our personal roadmap process for all of our clients, it was clear she needs some portion of her portfolio earning higher returns to ensure she did not run out of savings. So the message is, don't risk your income today or tomorrow. Diversify your investments. Have some portion in low, no-risk investments to ensure your income today is safe. 3 to 5 years is what we recommend for most people. But have some portion in investments with the ability to keep up with inflation and taxes to ensure you have income down the road. Wendy's better diversified now and, in fact, on track for what our plan shows is a lifetime of regular tax-efficient income as a result of that personal roadmap process.
Well, I have the personal roadmap book myself, and I find it very interesting. Are you still offering it to listeners?
Absolutely, Marin. If someone would like to send us an email or give us a call, we'd be happy to share that roadmap process with any of our From a Woman's Perspective listeners.
And obviously, Wendy is happier and sleeping at night dealing with someone who listens to her and who's keeping an eye on what her investments are and making sure that she'll have enough to last her lifetime. If someone is wanting to speak to you about their investments and how they can diversify and maximize the dollars they get, how do we reach you, Darren?
I'd be happy to take a phone call at 416-863-7501. or connect to us on the farwellgroup.ca website.
So there's a link from my website, marilyns.ca, but I'll give the number out again, 416-863-7501. Don't worry, there is information from the experts. Darren Farwell and the Farwell Group can be there for you. Bring your questions, get your answers, and then determine what the best course of action for you can be. Thank you, Darren. I look forward to learning more from you next week.
I will be here with you next week, Marilyn.